Hello, me bunny bairns, and welcome to episode... What are we on, Alex?
We are on episode 9.
9!
I had to look at my list there.
9 of the Superhero Dog Owner Show. This is the show that helps you have more fun and less stress with your pet dog. I'm Dom Hodgson, I'm your host, so welcome. And I'm joined, as usual, by Alex the Video Guy.
Hello.
Who's in charge of remembering which podcast we're up to. Good work, Alex. You did awesome today. So this week we're going to be talking about an S word.
What?
No, not that one. Not that
right.
one, no. We're talking about socialisation. Okay? This is something that I think a lot of pet dog owners get wrong. I think it's something that a lot of pet dog owners get hung up about, and they can make a lot of mistakes thinking that they have to socialise their dogs a certain way for their dog to be friendly, you know, and for to have up a dog. And anyway, so we're going to be discussing that. These are just my views, obviously, but you guys know me by now. You know that I'm a very, very lazy dog trainer, very, very lazy dog owner too, and so you can trust that if I'm telling you something, I'm coming at it from the point of view of I want to make life as easy as possible for you because I want to make life as easy as possible for me as well. So that's what it is. So what do you? Let's talk about social life and before we get into dog social life, what about our social life, Alex? Okay, what about you? What's a good night out consist of for you?
A good night out for me would probably be going to the pub or a bar with my mates, having some beers, catching up with them, where we can actually talk to each other, and then maybe going into town and seeing some live music or something like that.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So would you like to do that with your friends? Would you do that every day or? Oh
God, no, definitely not. As much as I love them all, I think for me there's a time and a place for socialisation, definitely, but.
So how have your tastes changed?
Well,
over the years,
I think that, you know, if I was 16 to 18, you know, and at uni and stuff like that, I'd be going out a lot more. But these days, it's probably like once a month or something. Most of the time, I just like to chill out in my own house, have my own space, and that kind of thing, you know.
Yeah, you and your good lady.
That's right.
Just chilling out. Awesome. Yeah. So, and I'm very similar. You know, I used to be quite social once upon a time. Now I'm just a miserable old man, as my wife is fond of telling me.
No, I see.
Now we like just chilling out, watching, you know, a HBO drama or something like that, and enjoying a nice glass of Merlot. Other red wines are available, but yeah, and I think we get hung up on thinking that our dogs need to have this amazing social life, you know, and obviously we're all different. I have friends who still like going out, and, you know, they go out regularly with their mates and they have, you know, beers and stuff like that and nights out and things. I'm getting a bit too old for this kind of thing now. So I much prefer a more quiet existence. You sound like you're catching up with me even.
Yeah, definitely.
But we get really hung up on the fact that we want our dogs to have this social life. We want them to get on with other dogs and to play with other dogs. And certainly from my point of view, when I had my first dog called Flo, she was just a little mongrel who died about maybe 5 years ago. She wasn't a very friendly dog at all. In fact, she was, for the first kind of 6 years, she was a bitch, really, you know. She was a bitch anyway, but she was a bitch, you know. She really did not like other dogs, and she would let them know that she didn't like them. And when she got to about 6 or 7, I managed to kind of slowly show her that, you know, she didn't need to be afraid of other dogs, but she never liked other dogs, you know. And I think I used to get hung up on it, and when I used to go to the park and people would say, you know, oh, is she not very friendly? And then I would have to say, no, she isn't. And you see other dogs playing, and you want your dog to be like those dogs, you know. And I think certainly a lot of dog owners that I speak to, a lot of clients, they tell me that, you know, my dog isn't very social, he doesn't like playing with other dogs. And I have to tell them exactly the same thing I wish somebody had told me, which is, that's fine, you know, that's okay. Yeah. You know, your dog does not have to like every other dog. Your dog doesn't have to like any other dog for that matter, you know. Preferably, it'd be good if he wasn't particularly aggressive towards him, but certainly, you know, your dog doesn't have to be playing. Your dog can play quite happily with you and a safe stick or a tennis ball or whatever it is that you want to play with him with. And, you know, if your dog never saw another dog in his life, to me, that would be fine, you know what I mean? It wouldn't he wouldn't have any less of a life if he didn't have any great relationships with any other dog.
That's right. I think a lot of people think that it's this like unwritten rule that your dog has to be able to get on with other dogs and has to meet other dogs and all that kind of thing for whatever reason. But it just doesn't.
No. And if anything, I think that, you know, you can actually cause a lot of problems, certainly with puppies, by making playing with other dogs be the thing that your puppy enjoys doing the most, you know, and if you expose him to that regularly, then he is going to enjoy that. That's going to be his favourite thing to do. He's going to seek that out when you take him to the park or the beach or the woods or wherever, and if he sees another dog, he's going to want to go to that dog and play with him, and obviously you're going to have less control then, aren't you? You know what I mean? And like what we said before in episode 2, was it, with the kryptonite? You know, you want the kryptonite, you want the thing that your dog enjoys to be something that you can really quite easily control. And if it's another dog or a pheasant or a deer, then you can't control those things. But if they're the things that your dog enjoys, they're the things that he's going to be looking for when he goes for a walk. So we've been talking quite a bit about puppies over the last few weeks, haven't we, with Mark the vet, and then we had Amy on as well. So this is something that I want all the puppy owners to realise out there is, you know, your puppy doesn't need to... It certainly needs to be exposed to other dogs, but he needs to be exposed to good, calm dogs that, you know, he's not going to be too interested in, you know. He needs to be exposed to dogs in the same way that he needs to be exposed to cars, buses, lorries, bin men, you know, women, children, fire engines, horses, sheep, whatever it is that you want your dog, fireworks, you know, whatever it is that you want your dog to be okay with, then yeah, definitely he needs to meet other dogs, because he's going to meet other dogs when he's out and about. But if you can teach your dog that you're the most interesting thing, even when there's another dog there, then, you know, your life's going to be set, and you're going to have a really social dog then that you can take anywhere on your holidays, to the park or wherever. And he's going to be an amazing dog, because he's not going to be bothered about anything else. He's not going to be frightened by anything else. He's just going to want to be with you as well. So that's what we're talking about. I think that's what I think socialisation is. It's your dog being okay with other dogs, but not necessarily wanting to be with other dogs. You know, it's your dog being okay with lollipop ladies, and but not necessarily. You know, if every time your dog saw a lollipop lady and she gave him a bit of steak, then, he would be looking for lollipop ladies, wouldn't he? Every time you took him for a walk, and he'd be pulling your arm off to get to that lollipop lady over the way. So you need to make sure that you're the thing that your dog is looking at and your dog wants to be with. And we had we've shot some footage over the years with little Betty Schnauzer, who was one of our regular dog walking clients, and we made sure that we were helping Betty's owners to, we wanted her to be a nice social dog and a confident dog, and so we took her to lots of different places and exposed her to lots of different things, and she still had exposure to dogs. She lives with another dog as well, and she obviously comes on the adventures with us, but all the time we're teaching Betty that we're the thing that she wants to be interested in, she should be looking at, and just because it makes life much easier. Yeah, I can't stress that enough. That's all I'm interested in, okay? If you want your dog to be every other dog's friend in town, then by all means go the other way, and encourage him to play, and don't be bothered about him, don't call him back, that kind of thing. But there are consequences to everything that we do, and the one consequence to that is going to be that the dog is going to look to other dogs as fun and as entertainment. Yeah, that can be a happy medium. You can have a dog that is fine playing with other dogs and is still fine with his owner, but that's only going to come about if you regularly play with the dog. So that's my little take on socialisation. I think that your dog needs to be socialised. Certainly as a puppy, needs to be socialised, needs to have exposure to other dogs. But it's certainly, if your dog is a little bit older and he's a bit crankier, he's a bit like me, maybe he doesn't like going out so much, meeting new kinds of people, then, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. Just, you just make sure that you can provide all of the challenge and the fun and the play that your dog needs, because he still needs those things. But don't force him, and, don't force him to want to play with other dogs, and don't feel like you're letting your dog down, and don't feel like a failure, like what I felt like with Flo when I was in the park and all the other dogs were playing and the owners were looking at me because I felt like I had an aggressive dog, and I didn't. She didn't like playing with other dogs, and I wish I had I wish I had just not bothered trying to expose her to other dogs and trying to get her interested in playing with other dogs when she didn't like it. You know what I mean? So it's about listening to your dog and understanding what your dog needs, what your dog's comfortable with, and don't feel upset with yourself. Don't feel like you're letting your dog down at all if he doesn't like playing with other dogs. That's completely fine. That's okay. You can have a great time with your dog, with the dog treats and the dog toys. Just you and him, just having a good time alone. So that's today's lesson, really, Alex. I want to take the pressure off everyone, really, and bust the myths about socialisation. Your dog doesn't need to be everybody's friend, and if there's a reason why he's kicking off every time he sees other dogs, then maybe you should do something else. Definitely. It's like if you went out with your mates every night, you might be sick of it after 3 days, mightn't you?
Yeah, that's it. I think it's I was going to say it's like having too much of a good thing, really.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's kind of true, I suppose, for dogs as well,
and humans.
Yeah, definitely, absolutely is.
This is one of the reasons why I wrote the book. I wanted to help the pet dog owners for them to be the thing that their dog wanted to be with all the time, and feedback so far suggests that it is helping them to do that. The further ways we can help them to do that are within the superhero dog owners in a circle. I'm going to be telling you more about that in the coming weeks, but that's going to be my own membership community that you could join, where you can learn even more about the ways that you can be your own dog superhero, be the thing that your dog follows around the park all the time, and the thing that your dog wants to be with when you're out and about, not just when you're cuddling him on the couch. Yeah, it's very easy to have a dog who wants to be with you when you're sitting sniffing his paws, cuddling him on the couch, but we start to introduce more distractions and it gets a bit more difficult. So that's it for the socialisation. We're gonna share with you now a little video which I think will help you to understand that you can be the most important thing in your dog's life. And this is a video that we took when we took the dogs on an adventure and to the beach, and it was a busy beach and there were lots of other dogs around. But you can see from this video that me and Alex, my son, we can keep great control of the dogs, and we can be the thing that the dogs look at, the dogs want to be with, the thing that makes the dogs happy. Yeah, they don't, even though we take the dogs out as a group, they don't exercise with each other. Yeah, they exercise and they play with us, and so hopefully this little video will help you to understand exactly what I've been talking about here with regards to socialisation. If you want to do something good today, then please leave us a review on iTunes. We really like reviews. We've got some awesome reviews on there already. So please leave a review if you're enjoying the show. Tell your friends about it. Ask them to subscribe, and they too can be having a bit more fun with their own dog. So we're going to leave you with the video, and I hope you enjoy it. Yeah, so it's really important that we have good control of the dogs all of the time, especially when we're somewhere like this where we know there's more people. So for some of the dogs who are just on like a normal round the waist leash, Charlie's a bit calmer, so he's just on a normal leash. Betty and Alex are a little bit more excited, yeah, so they get head collars, they get gentle head collars, and this is all just to help us have more control, yeah? You know your own dog, you know how excitable he gets when you take him to the beach or the park or wherever, yeah, so you can take the right steps to ensure that he's got the right kind of lead or harness on, or long lead that you're going to need to keep good control of your dog. Let's go to the beach then. Good boy, Charlie. So we're here near the world famous cat and dog steps and we just come from the van to here. But before we go on the beach, I'm going to scout it out a little bit, see where's busy, see where isn't. I'm going to head somewhere where there's nobody at when we first get there, because it's really important that we play a couple of games with the dogs and show them what we've got and practice a couple of recalls or do whatever it is that we need to do to get the dogs interested in us, yeah? So it'll be too difficult for the dogs to just be exposed to other dogs running around, people, kids, all that kind of thing. Yeah, I think it's only fair on the dogs to do a little recap of all of the things and remind them of all of the good things that we've got and all of the fun things that we do every time that we go to the beach or the park or anywhere that we go that's a public place. So that's what we're going to do right now. Come on, guys. Head first. So we've arrived, we're on the beach, very exciting for the dogs. And we've found a little spot here where it's nice and quiet. So you'll see we we're going to get the toys and the treats out again. We're going to play with our dogs. We're going to get them interested. Here, come here. Going to get them interested in the things that we've got, show them all the rewarding things that we've got and start to play some games. We can let them off gradually, obviously, yeah, so we let the calmest dogs off first. We spend a bit more time getting the more energetic dogs, or the dogs that are more likely for us to struggle to control a bit more. Yeah, we're going to take a bit longer before we let those dogs off. So it's exactly the same thing that you can do as well with your own dog. Yeah, obviously you're only going to have one dog. We've got several dogs out today, none of which are actually our dogs. Yeah, these are just dogs that we walk on a daily basis. So this should be a lot easier for you. But you can follow this process that we use, and hopefully it'll give you it'll make it easier for you to control your dog when you take them out somewhere. Stay there. Okay. So we've got a couple of dogs off now. A couple of dogs off lead. Max here. So we're always talking to the dogs. We want them checking in. We want them get this magic circle going around us so that they're never going too far out of distance. Good boy, Charlie. Good boy. Yeah, so we're rewarding them just for checking in with us. They know we've got things that they like, and they enjoy playing it with us as well. Yay, good boy. And here we have little Dolly. You're gorgeous, aren't you, Dolly? And you're gorgeous too, Ruby, yeah. So a nice little example there of somebody who, because they didn't know or because they don't care, we don't know, they did the exact opposite of what we did, yeah? They let their dog straight off the lead, and the dog was very, very excited. He saw us and he ran over to play or whatever. Fortunately, all of our dogs were fairly interested in us, so they kind of just followed us away from the other dog, who followed us for a little bit until he went back with his owners. Yeah, but that's just a really great example of why you should take a little bit of time, you know, to stop, have 30 seconds, show your dog the things that you've got, talk to him, make him do something. Charlie. Yeah, so if your dog's looking at you, then he's listening to you. That's a good boy, Charlie, good boy. All right, if your dog's looking at something else, another dog or another part of the beach, or Charlie's looking at Alex because he's got treats now as well. But if your dog's looking at something else, then that's the thing that he's interested in, yeah? So eye contact's really important. Make sure that you're getting some eye contact from your dog and you're rewarding eye contact. And make sure that you're getting eye contact regularly before you let your dog off the lead, all the time. So this is how we do it, yeah? It's not particularly difficult. We just play with the dogs. We have things that the dogs like, that we know the dogs like, and then we use them to keep the dog interested in us. Yeah, and we're going to go further along where it's a bit busier now, but we took a bit of time to get the dogs interested. Put the ball away a second now. Yeah. So even when we don't have anything on us, even when we don't have anything out, any treats or anything, yeah, the dogs, put them away. The dogs are in the habit of looking at us already. Yeah, we're creating a pattern of behaviour where the dogs look to us for fun and for excitement all the time. Yeah, so we're going to head along the beach and the dogs can have a bit of a swim. Come on, guys.